I'm Aditya Mehta, uh, a paracyclist, in fact, a proud Abawani amputee, a cyclist. I would like to start with a quote of Helen Keller. I was crying because I had no shoes till I saw a man with no feet. Where should I start from? Should I start from my accident or from my business? How naughty I was. I feel I should start how naughty I was, and I would like to that's the better thing, because all my friends here, everybody might be naughty in their childhood, because I was very naughty. In fact, still I am naughty. I was the naughtiest kid in my family, my whole community, in my whole school. Everybody had a strong opinion that I'm going to become a big terrorist or a big businessman. But today I'm none of that but a social worker. And first Indian to win 2 silver medals at Asian Paracycling Championship 2013. I believe in one of my quote, life without challenges is always boring. Most of my friends here, they might also believe the same thing. I met with an accident in 2006. I lost everything. In fact, I lost all the hope of being a person with being an able person and suddenly becoming a challenged person. It completely changed the life of a able-bodied. So I was a able-bodied, and suddenly being a challenged person was a tough task. I was as normal as all the 4 limbs, both the hands, both the legs, and suddenly becoming a challenge. How did I go through this journey? Basically, I had a bullet and I was on a road on a bike. I met with an accident. Road Transport Corporation bus banged me twice from back and pulled me for 200 meters. And when I saw the bus, it was coming over my head, and I turned my body in between both the tires and was trying to pull my right leg, but my right leg got injured, and as I was not able to move my leg, the bus went over my right leg. That painful moment, I still remember that days, and it was one of the toughest days of my life. Every second day in hospital, they used to dress my wound without any painkillers. Every second day, a nurse and a doctor getting into an operation theatre to dress my wound was killing. My own wound used to smell very, very bad. A person like me who loves in fragrance, and suddenly the fragrance what I used to use for myself, I used to spray all over my hospital room. A person like me who was into exports suddenly completely got confined in a hospital room where, as I told you earlier, my wound smell and the sympathy of people who used to come and just show me that, oh, bichara, the life is completely stopped there. I had multiple thoughts every second day that how will my life going to be after the accident and after this kind of injury. The last 4 toes, leaving the thumb toe, used to move, and I had a hope that doctor might save my leg. But on the 6th day, doctor was on a Bluetooth. He started dressing my wound without any painkillers, wrapped the POP over my wound. On the 8th day, when he started cutting the POP, the first thing from his mouth, he said that, oh my God, what did I do? He started whispering to one of his colleagues that I forgot soframycin patch in between wound and the cotton. The cotton got completely stuck. Just imagine the kind of, the way they started talking to me, the kind of thoughts I started getting. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? There was no other option, but there was only one thing they had in their mind is to pull the wound with the forceps 7 times from above the knee till my foot. Sir, sir, and my last 4 toes stopped moving. I had high fever after a few days, and they started counseling me. Shall I try operating your leg below the knee or above the knee? Friends, they started counseling me. Basically, they should uh, ampute my leg below the knee or above the knee. Basically, most of my friends here, they might be aware about only amputation. The level of amputation is different. Above the knee amputation is completely different, and below the knee amputation is different. I was a able body, as earlier I told you that I never knew what is below knee and above knee. But when doctor came and told me that we will like try to uh, do two operations. First we will try with below knee, and then if it is not working, we'll do a above knee amputation. So I was so scared that I told him that I don't have now any strength to go through that stress, that pain, that I can like basically give you basically I can ask you to do two operations. So I told him, please remove above the knee, operate my leg above the knee, finish it. I can't go through two operations. So as I was not aware about the benefits of below knee. Below knee is nothing but it is same as able bodied. They can scale any kind of mountains because they have a knee. For above knee it takes time. It's tough for walking. It is really like balancing is tough. There are multiple issues I never knew. So I had no other option but to ask them to remove operate my leg above the knee. Able body, being a challenged person, life was completely stuck. I had there was only multiple thoughts I used to get multiple thoughts in my mind. How will people look at me? How will people speak to me? Where will I stand in front of the society? People will call me a langda. Will I be able to be as normal as earlier I used to be? Will I be able to go out of my house? I didn't know where was I standing. I took 6 long years to understand a cyclist and myself. How did I basically get into cycling? There was a cycling event by a local cycling club in Hyderabad. I just saw a hoarding, and since my childhood I was a foodie, and I used to really like food. So for keeping myself fit, I started walking after my accident. I didn't tell you earlier. I started walking with both the crutches, with the artificial limb, then stopped using one crutch. Then I stopped using the second crutch. Multiple times I used to buckle. There was someone around me to help me. Sometimes they used to help me to get back to my own feet, but most of the time I used to put my own efforts to get back on my feet. So I started walking for a kilometer, and slowly I started walking for 10 kilometers. That 10 kilometers took me 6 years. And then one day suddenly I saw a big hoarding of a cycling event, what I told you earlier. And that hoarding really inspired me to again go back to my old days, where my cycling was my passion since my childhood. With my cousin Devansh Mehta, he used to basically always cycle every day there. And I just asked him, "Bhai, can I try once So he said, it is not really advisable, but let's try, because you're showing your interest in this, so let me try. So I still remember the day I sat on a saddle. I had 5 falls. That 5 falls made me so strong that I got featured in Limca Books of Record for fastest 100. That 5 falls made me so strong that Limca Books of Record, it got featured. Because of that, Cycling Federation of India, they saw me in Limca Books of Record, and they really, they said that one of my coach, Dattu sir, he told me that, are you ready to represent India? That was a big day for me. I started working for myself. In fact, I should tell you, I believe in one of this quote, it is not about body, it is about mind. Exactly 5 days before Asian Cycling Championship, in fact, I should tell you before that, my coach was really annoyed at me. I started making my own artificial limb for my Asian Championship, because the walking leg what I used to use the same leg, and it was painful to use because it was very heavy. When I started making this limb by my own, my coach was annoyed. He told me this is not a right time to put all this efforts on it, because by any chance if you will have a fall, the efforts what you have put on for your Asian Championship will almost go back to zero. I was always a stubborn person, so I told him, yes sir, I will not do that, but I was secretly making my own limb. Exactly 5 days before Asian Cycling Championship, I was training with one of my very good friend, Andhra Pradesh champion, a gold medalist in state, Raman Garimila, able-bodied cyclist. We were on a speed of 40 kilometers per hour speed. We were pacing each other. My new artificial limb, which I was trying to discover for my Asian Championship, it got unlocked and went inside the front wheel. I flew in air for 10 feet and my tailbone got injured. Last 9 months, 10 months, I worked really hard for Asian Championship, and almost my dreams shattered. My parents, my family, my doctor, and everybody advised me not to represent India. I was not able to sleep, I was not able to sit. I used to sleep over my tummy. I told my parents that I'm going to Asian Cycling Championship to only watch the race. I packed my bike. I was in Delhi for Asian Cycling Championship 2013. I still remember the day I was sitting on a saddle with a pain. Only one thing, one thing in my ears, one person who whispered me, Aditya, you might have this pain is temporary, but if you conquer this pain and you basically push your body, and I know that you're a champion, always this pain will take you to a next level of life. Asian Cycling Championship, I'm representing India. On my back I had my name Aditya Mehta with India's jersey. With a pain, 10 kilometers of individual time trial. For first 2 kilometers, it was really painful because my body was completely not properly warmed up. Then I gave my all out. I finished my race. I came back to my coach and I asked him, what is my position, sir? He said, you're a waste, man. You can't do much in your life. After a few minutes, he came back to me and he told me, Aditya, you won a silver. I became the first Indian to represent India at Para Asian Cycling Championship 2013, and I got first silver for my country, India. A businessman to a sportsman. That one push and 5 falls made me earn my dignity through sports. The fear what I had, how will people look at me, and people who used to call me bichara and show me sympathy, the same people, after that I started telling them, can you do a warm up with me in my speed? Then I started calling them bichara. The sports was so important for me in my life. After accident, I can't I can't express that thing. That medals, what I earned for my country, that was my first medal. In fact, I didn't tell you after that. There was another race after a few hours. Generally, after this kind of individual time trial efforts, you don't race for another race. Because I was an amateur cyclist, I didn't knew that time. I had zero knowledge about cycling, but I was only training. So after a few hours, 4 hours or 5 hours or so, there was another race and I was not able to get up by myself. With the pain, literally I had tears in my eyes. I just told my coach, I'm done with it, I got a medal, I'm not doing one more. I'm not going to I'll participate in another race, because I had no strength. Because of the pain, I was completely not able to move my body. But coach told me, no Aditya, you are going to go there. Just don't get a medal. Go sit on the saddle, finish the race and come back. Another race, 40 kilometers, mass start. Mass start is nothing but you compete with each other. I had no mood to go fast because I was in a very bad position. After a few kilometers, again, my body got warmed up. I tried for a bronze and I could earn another medal, silver for my country, because I pushed my body. I tried my best. So that 2 medals, what I earned for my country, was the biggest thing in my life. So the same Asian Cycling Championship, I met one of my extended family, para-athletes who used to train in different sports, get monthly medal for country, or they were on a position of 5th or 6th in the international tournaments. I really felt bad. Why did I feel bad in that? Because I saw them training in a normal equipments. A person with disability needs a customized adaptive device. Adaptive device is nothing but artificial limbs for sports. Artificial adaptive devices are nothing but the customized wheelchair for sports. Every sports has a different wheelchair. Every sports has a different artificial limb, which is completely made as per person's disability. So most of them were on a 5th position, 4th position, bronze or 6th position. They were doing wonders. I really felt bad and I wanted to support one of them. So from my end and my family, with my family support, I could support one of them. That turned into many people, they started approaching me and I felt that, oh my god, how will I reach so many of them? Then luckily I met few people in my another challenge called London to Paris. It was 9,000 feet climb. I basically did London to Paris ride in -5 degrees, and that in -5 degrees and rain. Few of my cycling colleagues, they told me that if you basically stop riding, and if you don't take a proper stop where you have a proper shade, so you might get a pneumonia. So that scared me a lot, and I never stopped my ride, and in 3.5 days I reached Paris. In the same ride I met many foreigners, my friends, who used to basically ride for a cause. And then I got an idea, why should I not take up similar kind of ride in India. In fact, before that ride, I wanted to tell you that London to Paris was my second record at Limca Books of Record, 9,000 feet climb. That gave me an idea, and immediately after 3-4 months, I planned another ride from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, North India to South India, 3,800 kilometers in 32 days. I started on a I started my ride on a road bike. My hands were completely, my palms were completely swollen, and sitting on a saddle, I had multiple saddle sores, and riding on an average of 117 kilometers a day was a tough task. Why did I ride this? We started Aditya Mehta Foundation before this ride, as I wanted to reach more people, more of my extended family, people with disabilities. What I have earned through sports, I wanted to reach more people. So we started Aditya Mehta Foundation in 2013. For that, I wanted to create awareness and raise funds for my para-athletes family. So this ride was a fundraising ride and creating awareness for my extended family and for para sports. How important it was for me, and how important it is. Basically a basic need for people with disabilities is a para sports, what I feel. This 2013 ride was also being featured, and that was my third Limca record. See, you can just imagine the life where it took me in the sports, how it turned in my life, how strong I was in my life, and because of that, because of my sports, I could become much more stronger, and my complete thought process changed, and started supporting my own extended family through this organization. So after this, we were not able to raise a lot of funds in that, and majority of the funds was from my family. I really felt bad because 3 of my extended family, who were one of the swimmer and 2 of the paracyclists, who were waiting for help with one guy wanted an artificial limb, who was a swimmer, and one of them was bronze medalist at Asian Cycling Championship, and another one was a cyclist who represented India by borrowing somebody else's cycle. So the cycles what we use are very expensive, not less than 1.5 lakh rupees. Road bikes, what I was like I told you earlier, that I rode from Kashmir to Kanyakumari on the road bike. So I wanted to reach there, and they had a hope, and that hope what they had, it took me back to my accident, that I had a hope that doctor might save my leg. I felt really bad. Then again I took another challenge, Manali to Khardungla, 18,480 feet on an artificial limb. I started riding from Manali. It was a tough ride. It was one of the most toughest ride till date what I have basically took up this challenge. I started riding on hills. Basically riding on a flat surface and a hills is completely a different part, and on high altitude is much more tough ride. We need to synchronize our, basically we need to match our breathe and my pedaling, and the whole body should not move much while riding on a hill. So for the first day it was very tough, and being a bow knee amputee, the toughest part was there is no man's zone. There is basically no civilization there. I had to stay in a hut, and the worst part about the whole ride, the challenge was, being a bow knee amputee, I had no other option but only to basically manage myself in an Indian style washroom. I felt very miserable, but I could manage myself. That made me more stronger, and started riding for rest of the ride. For 4-5 days I rode very well, with a lot of challenges, like my socket, artificial limb socket used to cut my flesh. I used to bleed a lot. My nose used to bleed because of high altitude. On the 5th day, I had high altitude sickness. That is the worst thing what you face. I started missing my family. I wanted to call my parents, my family, but there was a huge line, a queue at army area where they used to provide us a call, and if you talk to somebody for more than a minute, people start looking at you. So after that, I was really feeling sick. I was missing my family. I started checking my pictures, my family's pictures. I saw, suddenly I saw all the three pictures, my extended family, para-athletes family, who had a hope that after this ride they might get their equipments, adaptive devices. That motivated me a lot, and luckily, because of that, I could reach Khardungla on 15th August in 2014 and became the first above knee amputee. In fact, I might be the first above knee amputee in whole world to scale Khardungla. I was really happy. That ride made me much more stronger. I came back again. I started writing personal mails to all my friends, and luckily we could raise the money what was required for all the three people, and that was our first presentation ceremony at Aditya Mehta Foundation AMF to reach three of them, and that three turned into 190 para athletes who are being partnered with us for their customized equipments, customized wheelchairs for sports, customized, and the two medals what I won, we turned into 90 international and national medals. As I told you earlier, the sports taught me how to live strong for myself, and sports taught me how to live for others. And this is not one single person's work. It is basically a team efforts. We need lot of funds. We need to reach a lot of people. Every person in the team is really important. Without funds, we had a team who never expected any monetary benefits out of it, who stood by us from day one till date. The team is of physiotherapist, nutritionist, para sports coaches. Everyone, it's everybody's efforts, it's everybody's baby. So all these things what we did was because of the whole team working on it. The last ride what I took was the toughest ride. Not as tough as Manali Khardungla, but it was quite tough ride. I rode Delhi to Mumbai in 2016 with one of my very good friends, Shri Akun Sabarwal Sahab, who is IPS officer from Telangana. We rode 250 kilometers in a day and could reach Mumbai in less than 6 days to get associated with armed forces, Central Armed Police Force. People who loses limbs in line of duty, who loses limbs in line of duty, and through this ride, we got in touch with Border Security Force, DG, who really liked my idea. Basically, I tried reaching to the BSF and I told them that I want to ride for this armed forces. And first thing I wanted to counsel them, wanted to speak about my experience, what my life was before my accident and after my accident, and now what is it. So he really got impressed with the work, and one of my, mentors, Shri P.S. Sandhu Sahab and the past DG BSF KK Sharma sir, they really loved this vision, and after this we got associated officially with BSF. And through this ride, as I was only aware about Border Security Force, other armed forces also got in touch with us, and through them we got officially connected with CRPF, CISF, ITBP, SSB, So first part at Aditya Mehta Foundation, we counsel people who have lost limbs in line of duty. The counseling is done by a past para-athlete or a present para-athlete who's won some medals for the country. Second part is, we used to conduct national training camps. As we never used to have a big setup, so we used to take armed forces establishment. We used to have a temporary accessibility, and from that we started training them with 4 sports in 2016. Then 2017 we introduced more than 11 sports. Slowly we increased it to all 28 para sports. Able body becoming a challenge person, it really becomes tough for him to cope up with the life what I had the issues. How will people look at me? What will people react when I'm walking? People will call me langda. Multiple thoughts I used to get. The similar thing is being faced by all my para-athletes family. In fact, any challenge family. What I told you earlier was basically every person with disability needs to go through this kind of training camp where they can basically learn how to live and be strong with whatever disability they have. Being a able body, suddenly becoming a challenge person, multiple challenges you have, multiple things you need to face. In fact, I should share a small thing what I used to have. People, whenever I used to, after my accident, as I told you, I never, everybody used to call me bichara, and I was not comfortable in going into any parties and all. The first thing what people used to ask me was, how did you meet with an accident? Yes, the first thing what they used to ask me is, how did you meet with an accident? And that was very annoying. It was so annoying that I used to go to any parties. I used to always wear my jeans. But now if you see, because of sports, you will only see me in shorts. Sports has given me so big confidence that I can just say that the kind of leg earlier when I started cycling, I was never in Limca books of record on initial days. One of my friend, they asked me, "Do this is for a show off or a sympathy?" And at one of my talks, so I told them that sympathy, no, because people who used to show me sympathy, I can ask them to train with me for for 10-15 minutes for my warm up. They won't be able to cope with my speed. Yes, if you say show off, absolutely so for show off. Because I would like to, I just gave him an example. If you get into a party and if there's a chief minister and me or some big actor or actresses, and if I am in a shorts, people will surely give me more attention. So I am a bigger celebrity. That time I was never an Asian medalist. That time I was never a Limca books of record holder. I was a normal above knee amputee who used to cycle. So this is the kind of confidence I have got through sports. So this is the basic needs of sports for every people with disability. So this kind of similar thing, I'll get back to the armed forces thing. So we got officially connected with all of them. We started this training camp. Till now we have done all the 5 training camps with all 28 para sports till now. Basically my team, we make athletes from grassroots level. We do not concentrate on athletes who are already international medalists. We concentrate with them to make more athletes. Basically we take them as a part of our family who used to do, many of them who used to do odd jobs. We hire them and ask them to train other para athletes or people with disabilities to get back to their normal life. Basically we use their services. So this is a whole team who is working towards it. We at AMF had a dream to start a para sports academy. Before this para sports academy, I would like to say that the whole funding for this counseling, this training, supporting people with adaptive devices, supporting them for their international tournament comes through a Infinity Ride called Infinity Ride. The first Infinity ride was in 2015 Bangalore to Hyderabad. Till now we have done 5 Infinity rides. Manali Khardungla again in 2016, 2017 was Hyderabad Tirupati, 2018 was Shimla Manali Kaza, and last ride was from Dehradun to Mana Pass. Infinity ride is where people connect from all over world, and people who are already connected with us in our team, they try to reach more people who are like leaders of the multinational companies, CEOs and all. So through them we ride. Earlier I used to ride alone for my extended family. Now you can imagine the impact of many people joining with us in Infinity ride and riding for our extended family and making it so big. This 3 to 190 was because of all my team members who really worked hard towards everything. So Infinity ride is done. So the latest part on November 16, we started Asia's first Parasports Academy and Rehab Center. Why is rehabilitation is important for a para athlete? I'll tell you. A person like me who is like economically strong, financially strong, they can go through rehabilitation. People who are from rural area, who are not aware about rehabilitation, or they are not able to get a proper rehabilitation or going through this rehabilitation, as they are financially not strong, because a per session at rehabilitation center there in a semi-government hospital in our Hyderabad city is around 1000 rupees to 750 rupees. Everybody can't afford for 90 days. So at our rehabilitation center, first part after going through this kind of injury is rehabilitation. We give them free of rehabilitation for 90 days or whatever is required. After that the screening part starts. Basically we train them and we make them feel the sports. We have a facilities of 15 sports at Hyderabad, but we try training them in all 28 para sports, screen them, and whoever is doing the best in whatever sports they are, we pick them for their professional training. Earlier we used to do this in different cities, but since November 16 we started this. We have a proper residential come rehabilitation come para sports academy where we train them, rehabilitate them, we put them into professional training, give them all the required equipments, we give them food, accommodation, all the necessary supplements for their sports, and we train them. So basically this is, earlier also I told you, it's a team efforts. This is really, my whole team is really working hard on it. And in fact in any of our events, like we do multiple road shows. The last event was World Disability Day where we had 7,000 people. Every person in the team who is working for this cause will never say, it might be a physiotherapist or a doctor or a IT professional or a chartered accountant, any kind of thing, they will never say that this is not my work, this is not my job. They will do everything possible to make this cause bigger and reach more people. So this 2 medals what I earned, it turned into 90 international medals. I would have worked for myself and I would have turned my 2 medals 2, 4, 5, 6, but I would have not got, we in fact, the whole team would have not got this kind of big number. And we at AMF aim to make India number 1 in para sports by 2024 by adopting children with disability school. We started already in Hyderabad. We are working on it. We are aiming to reach maximum places, because most of the children with disability school, they are basically, most of them, they are trying to put their maximum into academics. But people who are not so good in academics, what does that happen there? So we try pushing this thing through all the schools, because everybody in the school, they have a different kind of a mindset, as they said that no, academic is more important. But we try counseling them also, and we started getting associated. So this is our dream, to reach more schools in all over India and try to get them the feel of sports what I have got. The basic needs of a person with disability is sports, what we try pushing it. I am here for any kind of questions you have. Please let me know. I would like to answer any kind of questions here. I didn't tell you this. I have 4 limbs. One is my walking limb. The second one is my cycling limb. The third limb is my running limb. And the fourth limb is my real one. So this is the kind of attitude I have got from my sports. Para-athletes infrastructure, we are almost, because of less awareness, Government of India is trying to push harder to start something for para-athletes. They have started something in Ahmedabad with very few sports. So why do we push all 28 para sports? Basically, country like China and other Western countries, they get 150, 200 plus medals. They are total 1500 change medals. So basically Chinese and all, they are number one. Why not our country India? Why not we should also introduce 28 para sports in Paralympic Committee of India or by Government of India? So we tried pushing very hard for it in Asian Games. Because of our past ministers meeting, we told him all the things, and luckily he could recognize 17 para sports in India, as 28 para sports has been recognized by International Paralympic Committee. So because of our suggestion and all, he said yes, okay, go ahead, we will try to do something. So in Asian Games we have got lot of medals than able-bodied, almost like double the number of the able-bodied. In 2016 Paralympics, we could get only 4 medals, but other countries 200 plus. It was because they have only recognized very less sports. So hopefully by 2024 they will recognize all the sports. We together in government will try working on more children with disability school and all, and we will try to reach more people. Yes, Mr. Sunil, we are trying to get affiliated with SAI, as the sports minister Kiran Rijiju sir is a very nice man. He's always been a big support to the organization, and last time he was about to inaugurate our academy, but because of his aunt, she expired, and he at the last moment he was not able to inaugurate it. So he's a really nice person, and basically he will surely recognize our academy. In fact, he sent his whole team to check our academy in the inauguration, and they really showed a lot of interest towards it. If we are like very new to our academy is completely new. In fact, this is the Asia's first para sports academy cum rehabilitation center. We will try to get affiliated by SPOSAI, and in fact I am going to meet him personally, our Kiran Rijiju sir, soon. Local corporates, yes, people are not aware about it, but whoever visits our academy, or basically we meet many corporates. In fact, I get generally they invite me for a paid talks. That money, I don't take that money. Every money for the paid talks what we have, it goes to the organization. The company really gets impressed, and they start supporting us. It is very tough to get the kind of support what we require, because the adaptive devices are very expensive. The minimum artificial limb for a sports, it doesn't it starts from like 4.5 lakhs to, there is no limit to that. The wheelchair is also the similar kind of thing. The sports wheelchair is different. Every sports has a different kind of wheelchair. Customization is different. So it's an expensive part. So whoever meets us and whoever gets in touch with us and we try to get in touch with the corporates, they are really impressed, and they try supporting one of the athletes with the adaptive devices and all. And basically we have a adaptive gym also, where people they don't need to, in our academy, they don't need to basically get into they don't need to take them off from the wheelchair and shift to the benches for their daily workouts. We have a proper multi-station where wheelchair goes inside it, they train and they come out. It is completely designed, customized according to my para athletes family. Everybody is really trying hard, Mr. Vishnu, for getting much more better result than 2016, and we all together hopefully will get much more better medals in upcoming Paralympics, because it's not really confirmed. So a few of them, they're saying in 2021. It might take much more time because of the pandemic situation, and the preparation is really, everybody who really believes in training, everybody, I'm sure that they're training very hard, including my team, everywhere, wherever is possible, for their international tournament. Paralympics is really far because we need to earn points for that, and that points will make us reach to Paralympics. Hello Mr. Radhaji, I'll surely get in touch with you. Yes, we have a dream. In fact, not a dream, our next project is Sunil sir, thank you so much. I just it slipped out of my mind. We have a dream. Our next project is to have a para sports science lab. As able-bodied people have their science sports lab, at para sports science lab will much more have a bigger impact, because everybody has a different kind of a disability, and they need to basically know the kind of strength of the muscle, what is VO2 max, what is basically in my cycling. I'm a official Indian paracycling coach who has done his course through UCI, Union Cycling International, in Switzerland, and the whole Asia. I'm the certified coach. So basically we call one of the practice what we do is FTH, if you don't have a power meter. So it is functional threshold heart rate, and or else FTP. So basically all these things, it comes under scientific training, and that is much more bigger. It will have a much more bigger impact on all the para athletes, and they can improve much more better way, and they can get multiple medals as Western countries and Chinese what they're getting. Yes, we have made an action plan for a lab where we are trying to search for some corporates who can set up a lab here, so that we can get much more better reach. We have a proper plan. Anyone else, anything you please, you can ask me. We at the academy, we have a proper accessibility, ramps, then wheelchairs, and the kind of steps you require. Visually impaired, they have a different kind of tiles and everything is required. We try doing that also. Then we, in fact, I would like to speak to you about the cycling part also. There are different kind of cycling for different kind of disability. For orthopedic disability, we have paracycling, which normal cycles we use, road bikes and all, but it is customized according to the disability. Then there is visually impaired cycling, that's called they have B1 to B5 category. In orthopedically is C1 to C5. Then there is hand cycling, where we have carbon cycles and alloy cycles for training also. Carbon cycles are very expensive, and orthopedically challenged people categories are C1 to C5. We need to have classifications done. Classifiers are needed in India because we have very few classifiers for few games. So all these things has been already discussed with the past minister, sports minister. We at our team, we will try to meet the new minister again, and we'll explain him what all things has to be done. And the sports ministry and SAI is doing a lot of things for the para athletes, and PCI has also started newly now. They formed new body. Hopefully they will also do a lot of things. Deepa ji is really working hard on it. we I have almost replied everyone here. Then we in fact most of my friends, you might not know, every person's every sports has a different kind of a criteria of getting into sports in different sports, because there is a level of disability where few sports and few federations and few uh, para federation, they allow in different kind of level of disability for participation. Then that is minimum eligibility criteria should match them. Then we at my cycling part, we train them 5 days in a week, 1 day is a rest, and we do 2 days of strength training, and once in a month we take a FTH or FTP for designing a cycling training plan. And the plan what we do is like we give them a 1 year's complete plan. So they basically they need to follow that plan. In fact, since 2017, my boys whom they have got trained under us, they have got in cycling gold, silver, bronze was 2017. All the 3 medals was of India. 2018 was again silver and bronze. Gold medalist was Unwell. 2019 we got silver, bronze, and hand cyclist, one more bronze. So every Asian championship we are trying to get many medals in cycling. It is for every sports. Nationals, so we get lot of medals. Every national what they get medal, it is my medal, it is everybody's medal in India. So we try focusing on more on international, because in nationally we have a very good potentiality. Only what we try to request government is to have more classifiers, so that we can have proper nationals and all for all the sports. At Mr. Sunil, we have around 40 para athletes who are staying with us. Recently, after pandemic and before pandemic, they have gone back to their places, and few of them are stuck here. So they will be back again to the our residential complex, and we will start again. Whoever is staying with us, they are training, and few of them who are coming back after June 5th or 6th, they'll start training with proper social distancing and all, whatever is required after the quarantine thing. So we have a facility of 40 people staying together at once, and we train around 100 plus people many times. Where if the school children, they come here, they train visually impaired school, like in Hyderabad there's a school called Devnar. In fact, with that same boys, we did in 2019, first time in Asia, winter para games training camp at Oli with Indo-Tibetan Border Police. So we made them feel, all my extended family including visually impaired, the way they used to feel the snow, the glacier, they were so happy. So we have trained them in all 6 winter para games in Oli with my whole team, with the physio and everyone were there. They really worked very hard on it. Sports performance enhancement will be after that scientific lab and all, will start doing on it. Thank you so much. It will be a big help, Mr. Sunil. I will share you the PPT, and we together. In fact, I'm grateful to Sunilji that you have showed interest for putting us to some corporate or someone who can just support us with a sports lab. So everyone here who is live here with us, I really request you all to come and join the cause, because if you join this cause, trust me, you will feel awesome. A person completely walking on crutches or coming on a wheelchair and suddenly becoming a international medalist, it is because you joining us. Every person has helped to make him so big and recognize him and get a recognition towards the sports what he's tried to get through and get a medal. So I guess I have replied everyone. Anything else, please let me know, so I can just reply to your questions. I think we have done. Thank you so much, ISST, for giving me an opportunity for coming up live and speaking to all my friends here. Hope to see each and every person to join the cause, we reach more people. In fact, whoever you see a person with disability, you can just directly ask them to mail us. We together can reach more people. Thank you again. Thank you so much. See you.